Goodbye. That's good. Goodbye. So, I don't know how well you guys can see or hear from my body camera, but we're gonna try to do some video clips like this. Now, horses are trained to move away from pressure. So when you ride a horse, you will squeeze your calf muscles together, squeeze your legs to get the horse to go forward. And when you want to push the horse over to the right or to the left, you would squeeze that leg and essentially push the horse over a bit. When you have a horse, my phone is ringing with my horse sounds. I don't know if that's picking up on the camera. When you have a horse that you are moving from the ground and you want them to step away from you, sorry, it's my camera beeping now. Maybe body camera isn't the best way to go with this. But when you want the horse to step away from you, you would be basically pushing that horse away from you. So when I'm driving my horse, although I have these lines or reins when you're driving, and I can pull the right one to the right and the left one to the left to turn my horse one way or the other, there are times where I'm doing that and my horse is still going in the direction that I don't want him to go in. He's going way too far right or way too far left. That's when this whip comes in handy. Now, most of the time, whip isn't really used as a whip. What we do is we use it to just touch the horse here or touch the horse here, and you push him over one side or the other. That's it. That's what we do. So the whip is essentially an extension of your leg that you don't have like when you're riding a horse as you have when you're driving a horse. Or is that beep again? I don't know if you heard me, but the last sentence was as when you're driving a horse. So right now we are making our way from the park to the stable. I'm keeping right and letting cars pass me. I'm giving him space before we get to the crosswalk in case he feels like inching up. And he's perfectly calm waiting here. Our horses really don't have issues with the sights and sounds of the city. Just make a little clicking sound. I'll ask him to go forward here. I did one of these videos once before with my other horse, Nick. We're doing it with Scout today. He sometimes looks around him, stuff going on, and I'm paying attention to his ears and how high his head is, and I'll be talking to him and redirecting him where his attention needs to be. So right now he was looking a little bit to the right and I want his attention going straight, so I just correct him a bit. See, we've got a slight hill here, so now I'll go on my brakes a little bit, and this way he won't have the carriage running up into him. And we continue making our way down here. This commute is usually about 20 minutes or so for me. Sometimes I take it extra slow when it's hot out. I don't want him to be working himself up too much when he doesn't have to. And we're just making our way down the block here. So this is it. Driving in New York City, driving a horse in the street. No, it's, not this horrible thing people like you to think it is. It's really not a big deal. Not too much traffic out today. There is not usually. Today's about 82 degrees as the high, so it wasn't too hot for the horses to work. We did most of our full shift, and my horse is gonna get unharnessed back at the stable, go up to his stall for some hay and water, quick little shower and cool him off. He does have a slightly loose shoe. I don't know if you can hear it, but I can hear it, so I'm going to check it when I get back. The farrier comes a few days a week, so I may have to have it tightened up. He's almost about ready for shoes. We usually shoe him about every 5 weeks. Horses here get shod every 4 to 6 weeks, so 5 is the average, and he's just about at 5 weeks now. So we'll make sure he doesn't lose any shoes. Oh. Let's go, boy. Let's go. Go, boy. Go, boy. So now we're actually going to be passing by the police horse stable. They live just around the corner from Scout. They've got their trailer outside their stable here. They're on 53rd Street where we are now, and we are on 52nd Street. Now we try not to trot down this block too much because sometimes you do have police horses here and we don't want to startle them and get them worked up. And again, I'm just keeping my horse towards the right side of the road so that the cars can get by me. We do our best to not hold up traffic if it's not a safety issue for our horse. And here we are coming up on the police horse stable now. I don't think we can see inside today. There's some glare on the windows. Alright. To the middle of the lane here because we've got to get ready to make a turn, and we actually might pick up a trot to make this light. Occasionally we may trot a couple of lights. For the most part we just walk, but we can trot here and there. Let's see if we can make the light. All I have to do is make some clicking sounds, kissing sounds for my horse, get him to speed up there. Good boy. Always talking to my horse, reassuring him we're together. Oh. And we'll slow him back down to a walk again. I tap on the brakes a bit when I do that so he doesn't have the carriage running up into him. And I use that deeper voice, which means to slow down. So now we're on a bigger avenue. And as you can see, there's a couple of carriages down there in front of us, or if you can see, I'm not sure what the quality of this looked like. And all the other cars in the other three lanes can pass us pretty easily. Now our stable is just down this block, but we're actually going to head down to the next block. My horse is already like, hey, we live over here. Because this street is one way. We make our way around. Good boy. Let's go. Good boy. That's good. Good boy. Let's go. Good boy. So, I am talking to my horse because the truck over here on my right was making some sounds. And I just wanted to reassure him that that is okay. He does not need to respond to those sounds. Everything we do with our horses is always partnership, as I've mentioned a few times. Oh, and we are going to come to a stop behind this car here. Again, we're not too close to it. I don't know why people think that horses are breathing in exhaust. I mean, I'm right next to my horse and I'm breathing the same air as him. He's pooping right now. He's taking his little bathroom break. Using his time very well at the light. Sometimes the horses will like start to pee like right when the light changes and you're like, no, you've messed up all our calculated timing. So we're gonna start turning. I am looking behind us because we are going by a bike lane, making sure no one's coming up on him. I'm gonna avoid some manhole covers here. They can be slippery for the horses and also bumpy for the carriage, like a pothole. You don't want to have to hit too many of those. Once again, we are keeping right so that everybody else can pass us. Scout's got a fly on his left shoulder that he was trying to turn around to get to. He's trying again, but again, I will slightly pull with my right line here so that he doesn't wind up pulling the carriage somewhere we don't want it. Now, I usually have a fly net on him, but I will take it off for our commute to and from the park and stable. There's a motorcycle coming up on us. Oh, and a bicycle. I take that off so it doesn't get all tangled up in him. Come on, boy. Good boy. If we have an emergency. And the fly spray he's got on only does so much. So I think we're going to trot down here and be up there to make this light. Again, all it takes is a little bit of kissing. And we're going to slow down at the corner here. Oh. Again, I'm just tapping on the brakes a bit. Make it easy on him. And now we come to a full stop. Hey, hi. Now, the reason I yell at him when he turns around to scratch his head like that is because he can get himself all tangled up on the shafts of the carriage, and that can lead to an accident. So we don't want our horses doing that. We want them to look straight where it's nice and safe, which is how this all works. Alright, we have the light here. And again, all it takes is one little clicking sound. Don't know why people think we have to whip our horses and they hit our horses and all these things they say. It's not like that's how you have to get the horse to move most of the time. As you can see in these video clips, I don't think I've had to use my whip at all, but I do keep it out because this particular horse seems to respond better to the whip than other techniques where you can kind of, tap the lines like this or hit them on one side or the other a little bit to push them. And this is just, different styles of driving. Also, I can hold the lines, the reins, in two hands as I am now. I don't have to put down my whip to do that. Or I can hold everything in one hand. I don't know if you can see this that well, but you've always got to have a finger in between those lines, so then it'll get tangled up and you can still direct the horse left or right. Again, these are just different driving styles. I can also hold the whip in this hand and drive him with these fingers in my left hand. So you've got a whole variety there. And we're gonna drive my horse right into the stable now. The stableman will come help me unharness him and take him upstairs. And probably I'm going to turn this off because I've actually got to help them and use my hands, and it'll be a bad angle from the body camera. But you can see us drive in here. We've got a little bit of a ramp, so there's some rubber mats coating that. He needs a little coursing to get in because sometimes there are other carriages in front of him and he has to wait, so he's not always sure when we're gonna wait. And we're pulling in here behind another carriage that's about to get unhitched. And that's basically it. That's the whole thing that people say is oh so horrible. It's not. Now, also, most important, my horse gets a carrot at the end. Always gets the carrot. And I get down here, broke some of his carrot, and go and bite it. Good boy. Gosh, good boy. Good boy.